Hey guys, Socket here with a quick video just to run through the mods on my 2008 E92 335i. So this car's been a project for about 5 years now. Spent a fair bit of money on it, done a few mods to it over that time, working with my very good friend Vincent Lynn, who does most of the mechanical work. At least to the engine and the drivetrain and stuff, and I've done most of the interior and electrical work. So between the two of us, it's been our project car for a long time now. So just doing a quick run around the outside of the car. It's basically had an M3 body kit applied, so front bumpers, hood, side skirts, coming round to the back, a CSL boot in carbon fibre, M-Sport bumper, carbon diffuser, all that type of stuff. I think it came out, looks quite aggressive. It's got a pretty low stance, sitting on KW3 coilovers, sitting up about as high as it can on those coilovers, but it's been fully sound deadened to suit the stereo inside the car. So it's got about 100 kilos of sound deadening, and that makes the car sit much lower on the road. So starting at the front of the car, the blacked out kidney grills. That's a bit of a hallmark of modded E92s. The custom Spcgry plates, custom RGB headlights and demon eyes, the Maxton design lip. Been through a few of those. They're pretty tough, but they do get broken when you park too close to gutters and things like that. The M3 air ducts, which are actually functional, they direct air up into the brakes, and when the oil cooler was there, used to direct it onto there. So in terms of wheels, the GTC AFF1 flow formed rims. Probably my favourite. This is about my 4th set on this car over the last 5 years. Slotted rotors and the AP Racing Big Brake kit. Just pull it all up. The usual window tint, blacked out trim. Got the M3 mirrors on the side. Haven't got the folding function working on that yet. And working our way around to this side, got a pretty nice closure on the wheel arch gap, because we're running 10mm spaces on the front and 5mm spaces on the rear. Had to roll the guards just in here to stop any running, so there's not a lot of a gap in there. And on the CSL boot, got this carbon fibre. We just let that expose with a bit of a fade, so the guys did a good job in painting that up. The LCI tail lights look quite nice, and the 4-inch Vanguard exhaust, quite nice stainless steel tips on that as well. And this little carbon fibre roof spoiler, which provides some sun to the back dash cam. So that's pretty much the outside of the car. So we'll take a quick look on the inside of the car. So once again, fair bit of work done in here. This used to be a beige coloured car, seats, carpets and all that stuff. Basically did a two-tone custom interior in here, where I took a black interior and replaced the carpets and the headliner, and took the door cards and split them in two and inserted a cream panel, just to keep that two-tone look going. So I think it came out quite nice. That's been in here for a while now too. M3 seats here in the front and in the rear. They're a bit of an upgrade on the stock E92, a bit more comfortable with larger bolsters to hold you a bit firmer in place around the twisties. interior trim is in carbon fibre, which has been inlaid by a team in the US. Had to send the trim over there to get done. M3 dashboard, P3 gauge cluster, which is handy for looking at water temps and things. M3 performance reel, steering wheel, start button, NBT head unit, had that upgraded, and a carbon fibre gear knob to go with the rest of the stuff in here. Yeah, so this car was an automatic, but we've upgraded it to a manual. It's basically because we've got a little bit too much power for the automatic transmission, so we upgraded it to a manual using a Spec 2 plus a single mass clutch and flywheel, 1M driveline, diff and axles. So that's sort of all the transmission stuff. Also done an audio upgrade in here, so we've got the Focal Utopia number 7s, tweeters, mids, mid bass down here in the what used to be the map pocket of the door. In the back we have the critical mass providing rear fill. The whole thing's run off Helix V8 DSP, and in here in the dash is the director control unit. I'm running it off a Hi-Fi Walker Bluetooth, lossless Bluetooth streaming digital player, which goes direct to the DSP in the back, and in the boot I've got a Focal 13-inch sub. So that's the stereo upgrade. Still doing a bit of work to tune the system, but it's sounding pretty good. Probably need to do something about these weird ball and socket speakers, which I installed, but they're a bit odd. Might have to move them up into the dash at some stage, but you know, that's a project for down the track. So that's the interior. So let's go have a look under the hood. Okay, well this, as I mentioned before, this car was an automatic, you know, stock twin turbo 335i, making about 240 odd kilowatts. We went through a couple of aftermarket twin turbos, eventually got sick of those and then converted it to a single turbo, Borg-Werner 7670. So let's have a look under here. It's now making about 383 kilowatts. Still a bit more work to do on the tune, so hopefully we'll crack the 400 before our next dyno day. So this is the 7670 Borg-Werner, quite a small turbo, but it's a good trade-off between lag and responsiveness. Not quite as responsive as the twins, comes on about 3,500 revs, so you've got to keep the revs up to keep it in that nice sweet spot. All of this is custom made, dump pipes, all of that type of stuff. This custom crazy looking air filter, basically because we just don't have enough room in here, unless we go with a turbo guard, which this is probably a much safer option. Down here we've got a 7.5-inch PSP intercooler, front mounted oil cooler, CFF radiator, TFT charge pipe, go fast bits blow off valve, etc, etc. Also running the Bimmerlife coils, Index 12 injectors, a Helix overdrive fueling unit, flex fuel. This is currently on a flex fuel tune, which means you can just throw E85 into the tank and it will automatically work out and adjust the tune. Probably my favourite part under the hood here is this Mosselman oil filter thermostat housing. It's about the only thing that has stopped the dreaded oil filter housing leaks. and I tell you what, we went through a few things to try to sort that out. So it's pretty exy, but pretty happy with how that came out. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on the stuff under the hood. Everything's on the build thread if you want to sort of dive into the details. But yeah, pretty dirty and messy under here. Got a temporary aircon line running over here because we basically melted the aircon line next to the turbo here. So it is a bit of a mess of wires and things that we need to do a bit more work to sort of tidy up. So yeah, so that's the powerhouse that's driving the car. So that's my 2008 E92. Done about 200,000 kilometres on it now. Spent more money than the car's ever worth, but it's my daily and I really enjoy it. Big thanks to Vincent Lin and everybody else that's been involved on the community with this build. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want more details, feel free to look up my build thread on either E90 Post or on my Facebook page. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.